All right. Gotta share the stream link around first. Good morning, everybody. They only spent 3 billion because AMD will announce they invest 3 billion into OpenAI. That would actually be funny. That's pretty funny. Yo, yo, yo. Can y'all hear me or no? I'm not gonna lie, the stream's kind of acting up on my end. I don't know why. You do hear me? Okay, I don't. Yeah, I don't know why that's showing that. Then it's like not showing any volumes for me. But we're just gonna keep rolling. Good morning, King Carnage. Good to see you, dude. Make sure to check out the Levels channel, guys. Again, Levels and Swings channel. Very, very important. It amazes me too. Like, people honestly miss out on some of the probably the easiest plays, and it's literally just from reading those breakdowns I post. I mean, I can't go through them all, but this one especially. I mean, it's very obvious like where the key areas are for a lot of these charts today, as they have been for honestly a few weeks. I'd say as long as you just kept the right levels marked, understood the right areas that would keep you either bullish or bearish short term, each every week, each every day. I think that honestly would have been very helpful outside of just the overall market trading. So definitely be viewing those breakdowns I post when you have time. I try when it's for the new week too. I post it way before the next day's market open. So take your time to go through that. Lalit, what's up, Lalit? I remember you. How you doing, dude? Good morning. I can hear you loud and clear. Bet. Thank you. What is this you tagged me in, Letterbuck? Speaking of Letterbuck, interesting take and read. Why does his name look like that? What in the AI post did I just read? Dude, there's a lot of AI on this. I'll have to read that in a little bit. Check it out later. It's a crazy thread. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not trying to be mean. I scrolled through like a lot of it, just scrolling. And honestly, that was not typed by him. That does not look like a human typed that. I think he used AI to talk about AI, which is even crazier. I think what it breaks down is why we should choose quantum over AI, which genuinely that makes way more sense. And it kind of cuts out that chance of us getting, taken over by our own robots. Quantum is the way. I think I got a quick summary when I read through it, but There were a couple posts in there that were definitely not typed by a person. I bet if I took that, there's actually a thing you guys needed to start using. Um, like it's cool if people tell you straight up, like, "Yo, I'm about to post this summary." You know, I typed it into AI and then it gave me this for like a better, more like literate summary. I understand that. That's different. But there are people just straight up being like, "Yo, can you tell me this and that?" And then they spits out like this whole thing, and then they can post it. It's like, what the fuck? What happened to creating content? I don't know though. I'll have to go read that though. That looked like it was though. What it was about though, short term. Good morning, Dr. J. Good to see you, dude. Honestly, guys, I think I'm gonna turn off the pre-market this morning. I don't see a need to use it today. Oh, that's definitely what I wanted. Yep. There we go. Again, guys, this honestly feels like deja vu from the week before. I'll be honest with you guys. At the beginning of last week, at the beginning of the week before that, we just constantly sat here and talked about, guys, this is the area we can go and break down if we really are going to have a seller day, blah, 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 blah. And then we also talk about, and if we continue to hold this area, blah, 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 then we're probably going to see more all-time high. Guys, we haven't broken any higher lows. We haven't broken shit, okay? We're probably going to keep going up until we actually see a rejection of something, right? We create our all-time high, we create some random high. We do get a small pullback, right? And we all know these get bought up. It's never on the first go. If I see a lower high under the 50% from this level to this level here, right? Wow, I drew that perfectly. That will tell us, oh, okay, there's a higher chance of sellers taking over now, right? And regardless of them actually doing it on that go or failing and rejecting again and then going, it doesn't matter. You've now created a level where you can tell yourself, okay, I need to see this held for bulls to continuously hold it to keep going, right? That's just a very simple level you can draw from pretty much any time frame. It's very, very simple. But and that's like super passive, lazy, find a lower high, higher low scenario, But it's kind of funny because you don't even have to draw anything. You could literally see it for yourself. I mean, we're literally holding higher lows over multiple days. So us getting a little bit of a higher open at the beginning of this week honestly isn't that shocking to me. There were a couple charts. I was gonna say AMD, but they're up so much it's not even worth looking now. But there were a couple charts that were under these areas right here. That were under this. Kind of like this, but a little bit further down. And in those scenarios, it's like, all right, well, if we can get over this, then we should look good for more highs. Most of those charts have gapped over this key area. There's a lot of the same key area on all these charts, basically. I did it for IWM. I did it for, well, like I said, I did it for AMD, but it does not matter. Because they're up over 30%. Pretty crazy. So we'll just honestly ignore that chart today. Same thing for SPX. It'll load. There it is. I didn't highlight it, but it's between this area here. This is honestly telling you short term what's going to hold or not. Yeah, we gapped above it. So what does that tell us? Okay, we probably need to pull back to that area and see if we're going to hold it. If we don't just, shoot straight up from the open. But that's not really anything you and me can cover. That's just like, okay, that can happen. Good job, by the way, anybody who is watching TTD with me past couple weeks. This thing is still going. It didn't do an AMD, sadly, but we will take it. It's kind of funny how Tesla just kept grinding up. It's got earnings at the end of this month. Good morning, Kevo. Cost looking juicy. Oh, brother, it's on my other list, too. I really need to start cutting those into videos or something, because there's like 10 times I'll have people be like, yo, bro, I really like this chart. And I'll be like, yeah, bro, we literally went over it. But I have Costco in my. I don't know what I titled this, but this is on some of the watches we've been having, and Costco has been one of them. It's just basically just because of positioning. It has almost nothing else to do with anything else. It's just the fact that it's down here. So we'll see if that continues to hold. It's kind of crazy though, because when you go to the weekly or monthly, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, if it doesn't do it here, there's a chance we're going to be seeing Costco under 800 or near 800 in the future. So that's also something to keep in mind. But I would honestly like to see this hold, considering it's still above the higher lows. This little liquidity grab, too, is crazy. This candle right here is just insane. So we'll have to see. But I have that marked as well, because I think Costco just looks crazy, just based on positioning. And that's where some of these kind of pop up from, too. And then I got to go through the scanners later. See if we can find some more overnight swings today. What watch list did I even have open? That one. $673 on my watch for 6733. I was like, what is he talking about? I was like, on Costco? Yeah, like I said, you'll probably see this area here get tested. I didn't have it highlighted, but that's what I was going over earlier in the stream. That's what probably needs to get tested, and then we'll see what happens. I think this higher open is just going to, like I said earlier, probably just have some take profits happen. Also, super lazy. You can draw your 50% gap fib. It's at the top of that area today, guys, so that's why we have that. This is also the previous day 50%, which is pretty freaking nuts. So it's a pretty important level right here. Basically, if we're above this level, higher chance that we're going to be going up or holding. Probably going to go back up, get some sort of bounce off of that. If we end up breaking that, there's a very good chance we're going to be pulling back towards this level here, which the only reason I kept this marked is from the daily. It's the October 1st to October 2nd gap from here to here. It's the 50% of that gap. So I just decided to highlight those areas together because we've been kind of teetering around it ever since we got up here. You could argue ever since we got to 669, 670, that's basically since we've been slowing down. Yes, we went up a couple dollars more, but there's always residuals. So it makes sense. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're seeing here, guys. So if we're above this level here, you're probably a little bit more bullish than bearish. If you see any other signs to also indicate that, you know, never taking a signal by itself, then you should be looking for short-term upside. A break of that, of course, then probably going to see a pullback towards today, previous day close, at the very least. But yeah, let me know if that was helpful, guys. Let me know if you guys have anything else on watch. What tickers did you have on watch from last week? Did anything move? Of course, if you were in AMD to any extent, congratulations. Good morning, fam. Happy Monday. Good morning to you as well, Alexis. Good morning to you, Mikey. Good to see you. Yeah, congrats to AMD holder. What a way to start the week. Yeah, for real. What is AMD? We'll see what we get here, though. Like I said, not really surprising to see at least some sort of a short-term pullback, considering we opened pretty good distance off of basically nothing. Still looking to see if this level here gets tested, just because it is two pretty freaking important levels combined, basically. Gonna buy bull again. That's pretty smart, honestly. Kind of sucks it didn't keep pushing. But honestly, I blame the fucking internet. I really do. You know, if you checked, like, internet online activity over this ticker, and you could do this with a bunch of companies, I'm sure. It's not like this is like, oh, bull's so special. Like, no, there's a lot of things that probably have done this in their time. But I'm not joking. If you were to go to, like, all the online activity, there is nothing but, like, silence or like a little bit of hate. Like, there was almost no, like, huge wave of people pouring into this. Bro, the last, like, 3 or 4 weeks, I've been seeing nothing but people post bull. So I'm gonna be honest. I think that we got it. I think it got exposed a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. You could say I'm coping a little bit. Maybe I am, but genuinely, this felt like it was gonna pull back just because of how much just online bullish activity there was. You know, just everybody's like, "Oh my god, I'm getting into this. Yo, my chat's in this. Are you in this?" So it kind of sucks that we've been in really early because we have to deal with these bullshit moments. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm still just chilling, and I think I don't know. You buy more as much as you want, but I'm just honestly gonna sit on what I have and just keep chilling. Maybe I'll buy a few shares here and there, but nothing crazy. But yeah, I'm. That's a good hold still for me. But I did want to go over that because I'm not joking, man. Like, if you just pay attention to that on something you're invested in, it's kind of funny to see. You'll see like 9 out of 10 posts are like, "Oh my god, this is totally going to 600," and next 3 days that's going down. Now I'm not saying that's like a good strat. I'm just saying like after you've already developed your play, you've already got in your setup, your breakdown, whatever the hell you're looking at, that's fine. But it's kind of funny to go look at that stuff after you've already done that kind of heavy lifting. You know, you're already in your belief. You're already like, this is doing this. By the way, shout out to Coin if anybody remembers the breakdown. Where the hell is the scratch pad? We went over swing watch and notable positioning. And honestly, I was going over a ton of these last night, and I was kind of impressed. These were all different tickers we were looking at for like upside, and then other ones were like short-term swings like TTD and stuff. But a ton of these have done really well. Now TXN, of course we start with that one. MRK though, shout out to Alexis. I think him and Dividend also were talking about this, or maybe it was just Alexis. But either way, pretty cool positioning. And honestly, it's not like it's gone that far away from everything. It's still kind of holding this lower high move. So we'll see what happens from there. But definitely another one that's just kind of like, you know, in a spot where it should go back up short term. We'll see what it does from there, kind of thing. Coin, of course, did amazing. Still watching Target. Honestly impressed with how this hasn't bounced more at all, but we'll see. Maybe it's just some sector rotation. Because again, that makes sense. A lot of those stocks have been pulling back. Snow, kind of talked about this one for curling back up and going into all-time highs. We'll see if that continues or not. It is up from what we talked about, but it's not something that's, you know, you're not sitting there and writing home about this one. We'll see if that all-time high comes, though, because I do like that little curl up it has. Whirlpool, impressed with as well. Also think it's a sector rotation thing, so I'll have to keep watching that. But again, these are mainly just based off positioning. It's not like we're like, oh my god, this is totally going up. Chewy, I honestly don't remember what the hell we talked about here, but I'm going to assume we talked about liquidity grabs here. You know, kind of doing what this exactly did. I have to assume that's what we talked about. And that did pretty freaking well, I'd say. Last few days, though, not so hot. Still above the higher low here, but that is a pretty nasty 4-day pullback. Sellers are always so much faster. I don't remember what we talked about on this one, but it's doing good. And then we talked about Open because of the previous Open, you know, big news coming out here and there. And yeah, that's about it. I also thought MSTR was a crazy chart, but it's not like I was going to trade it. Shit's pretty expensive. But earlier, before, we did like it was rejecting. We liked this rejection here. There's a lot of seller signals here. And they did get a move, but then they did the same thing I just showed you on the other chart. It kind of did the liquidity grab, break, and retake. All right, back to SPY. Enough yapping about these random charts. All right, nice. We've actually finally pulled back to this level. Let's go. Been anticipating this all morning for anybody who's been in here. All morning. It's been 13 minutes. Good break of the previous day, 50%. And I would like to also add the overnight gap up 50%. So this 670.40 level here, honestly, we need to just make it thick. It's a pretty freaking important level. Make it thick. There we go. So I'm not gonna lie, I won't be surprised if we see like break and retakes at this level, because if we just pull back, it's gonna be a little bit too obvious. Maybe not though. So I would like to see a break and retake of this. We could probably just go to the 1 minute for now. It's not the end of the world yet. So we could look for break and retakes of this. I would probably switch up as well. I may have a second chart up and probably have it on like a 15 minute just to watch that slower pace time frame. And that candle will be popping up in 10 seconds. Good shit, Kevo on the pullback. Good shit, Devontae on the pullback on Triple Q. Good job, guys. Sorry, I'm not reading chat as much. I'm just trying to pay attention. But good job, guys. Good job on paying attention. Because, yeah, I think that pullback was honestly kind of inevitable. With this, I think it's crazy, too, because we sit here and we talk about if we see a level like this, you know, we pull back to it after a higher open. If we have a lower start, we normally push up towards it first, you know, because if it's like it's just so important that it shows where it's pushing from that level, right? And sometimes it's literally just one of those levels, the previous day 50% or the gap up 50%. I think it's even more imperative today, more important today, because it's literally both of those levels all in one spot. So I think this level is going to be a magnet, especially at the open, to decide some sort of initial trend or direction from. So us pulling back to this, honestly, felt pretty freaking safe, I'll be honest. And I think I also like there on the 5 minute, you can see it there in the 1 minute, clear as day. But on the 5 minute here, there was like a lower high here, kind of end of day here. And I did kind of like that, so good shit. Good shit to you too for shorting that. Maybe I'll just stay on the 5 for now for a second. We really need to see if you're a buyer looking to like get a short-term long here. You're really looking for this level to retake and then see like a first initial move. And then from that initial move, you want to see a higher low. So don't take this first move if you're, you know, actually looking for a safer trade. Scalper is anonymous here. You're definitely looking for just quick scalps off that candle if it goes green. And holds that thick level. But honestly, seeing this level here now, you really need to pay attention between like here and today's open if we do go back up. Because if we do go back up, it's not like, oh, it's going to go to all-time high. No, it needs to deal with this lower high still from the end of the previous day, end of Friday. So keep that on watch if it does go back up. Sellers, you're really just looking to see if this level fails. Any kind of lower high that pops up here, you know, if they do get a bounce from this, if they give us any kind of lower high that ends up following under this level here, you probably will see a pullback to the bottom of this very quickly, just like we did from here to here. So that's what I would be looking at, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about anything covered just now. Let me know if you're looking at anything different. I'd also love to hear about other tickers in the market, whatever you're looking at. And be sure to leave a thumbs up on the stream. I forgot to self-promote. And yeah, good looks on SPX, Kevo. Thank you for those updates, seriously. Because SPY and SPX almost have the exact, like literally, I was saying this before the market, or as the market started opening, but they're literally every single chart, or almost every single big chart that a lot of us like to trade especially, a lot of them have this like key area right there. You know, it's like clear as day when you clear the chart and go redraw it and stuff, but I mean, you're not going to do that with 100 charts, but SPY, SPX, Triple Q, IWM especially, all four of those have this same look. So I am glad to see you calling that out. And I only know that because I went and charted 3 of those 4. So that would be a big reason why. Get AMD puts, be a man. Trade floor is actually kind of funny. FIPOs, they only spent $3 billion because AMD will announce they invest $3 billion in OpenAI. AI was pretty funny too. Just a bunch of tech companies in a circle jerk, paying each other. SPY inside bar on the 5 at a super important level. You are 100% correct. Is Lamb Weston green right now? Oh my god, they are. 46 cents, guys. We're up. That's generational wealth. Watch this inside bar close higher. That would be crazy. If it closes above the high of the previous candle, I would be impressed. As a buyer, you should honestly not want that. You should want this to be an inside bar and like just have a slight slow move up and then another pullback that holds this level or holds this like, inside bar area. It's not even just the level itself anymore if that holds. You're on the 3 minute? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, the 3 minutes pretty tough. I've looked at that plenty of times. 3 minutes actually pretty tough. I can even tell you why the 3 minute is tough. I don't know why I sleep on it so much on the streams, but I know in like previous breakdowns we've gone over it a lot. But the 3 minute is genuinely pretty cool. And it all bases off the whole 5 minute like mindset. So you know how we look at the 5 minute so much? If you just pay attention to a little bit past the halfway point of a 5 minute candle, a lot of the times that can be seen as like an earlier confirmation. So you can kind of get in before the candle, before it becomes super obvious to other people as they get in on the next candle that opens. And it gives you that extra little, I don't know, I guess extra room for comfort, extra room for safety in your position or entry, but it's mainly for scalping. I would definitely not like hold the trade for hours on a like smaller time frame like that. Like you definitely want to be on like your 15 minute for trades like that. That's the only way you're going to be comfortable enough to hold them. But 3 minute scalps though, pretty freaking nice. Good looks on that. Sound Hound is up almost 3% today. 2.5%, sorry. What's up the most right here? Well, besides AMD. Oklo, of fucking course. This dude, Sand$. Of course it's Oklo. MU makes sense. TSM makes sense. Makes sense because they are, in that sector with AMD and a couple of those other tickers that are honestly kind of... Oh my god, Rocket Lab, let's go. Why did nobody inform me of this? I think I'm the only person in my chat still in this or still hyped about this. Dude, let's go. I didn't even notice. I literally just reposted this again on Twitter. Man, can we get Bull to do that next? Here, here. Here, here. I gotta see AMD on the daily now. This probably looks really goofy. Yeah. They're like, oh, the rest of tech is up near all-time highs and AMD isn't? What can we do to fix this? It's actually nuts. Actually, I think Microsoft is the one that's furthest down now. Oh, wait. I might be wrong about that. Pretty close. I posted this as well last week, both in Discord and Twitter, and honestly, I just like it because of this setup here. I think it's insane that there's 3 white soldiers here. Jeez, you can't really highlight that well on this still. Oh, because of OHLC. 3 white soldiers, though, appeared here, and they did close a new high. And then, of course, they had those couple settle days, which, honestly, not a big deal. Outside bar into an inside bar. So these are basically telling you nothing until whatever the next candle does. And this one's breaking, making a new high. So I think continuation's on for Microsoft. Amazon, dude, you are honestly failing us. Not us specifically, but you're failing us. Meta as well. What's up with these two, man? These two have really been pulling back pretty heavy these last... Every time we have a pretty good green day, these pull back. Well, not every time, just the past couple weeks. Google as well. We even shorted Google. Can you believe that? We shorted this chart during an uptrend market. And profited big. That's crazy that there's tech charts that still kind of lie and pull back and stuff like that, lie in the wake. Damn, Caterpillar. Honestly, I thought Ulta would be down a little bit longer this year, towards like the last. Actually, I guess that makes sense. We are kind of towards the last quarter of the year. We are in the last, or about to be. But kind of makes sense that this is gonna go up towards Christmas time. I was waiting for this kind of thing though to happen for another like month though. To be honest with you. Don't sleep on makeup companies like Ulta during holidays for sure. When's the next Amazon Prime Day? Does anybody know that? I guess I could just Google it. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys are never going to guess when Prime Day is. Y'all got to hear this. October Prime starts October 7th to 8th. That's literally freaking tomorrow and the next day. How did I just pull that out of the hat? I did no research on this whatsoever. But I remember the last like 2 times I've seen Amazon just like do the craziest gap up after a pullback was both on Prime days. But that was probably over the last like 3 years, so 3 or 4. But I do remember this doing pretty well after a Prime Day. Can you believe that? Alright, we'll go back to SPY for now. I just had to look at some bigger time frames. Good look. SPY new low of day. Good call out, Dr. J. Yeah, so inside bar not looking too great as we got a lower close after that, which I guess could also be considered an inside bar inside that. And now this candle's trying to make a new low of day and hold. So if this ends up holding, it looks like we are going to see that dump into the, well, that level especially, but the previous day close probably. Probably see it go a little bit lower than the level. So as long as this candle holds like this, it should start pulling back a little bit more. If we see any kind of hold, retake and hold over this level again, though, you have to assume this is just liquidity sitting for upside. So keep that in mind in case you see that level be retaken. Oh, that wasn't you. My bad. That was actually D-Touch. My bad. D-Touch called that out. Bueller is a part of the Illuminati? Evidence? Any evidence? Buys Amazon calls. No, I am impressed. I even thought to even think about that, though. The Amazon Prime Day. Because I swear I've missed out on one of them, and I swear I've seen one of the biggest gains made from one of those Prime Days. In terms of, like, seeing someone's, like, options trade. Pretty wild, though. Yeah, my bad. Y'all's names honestly pop up as almost the same in my head when I read, because I just see the D and then I see like kind of a like medium sized name, and it throws me off. But yeah, that was D-Touch. Previous day open almost touched on SPX. Good looks. Kevo's on fire today, dude. We like having Kevo around. And good updates too. He shorted into the level, looking to see if we can pull back again. They did not give us a clear as day buyer signal yet, holding that thick level yet. See if any other level in this area can do it. If not, we will probably see that pullback. Into the previous day close, that is. Again, you need to see a break of previous day close for that larger pullback that probably a lot of you sellers are probably looking for if you are trying to short. And yeah, I'm watching the chain too, but These actually didn't move as crazy as I thought they did. The cons. Nice recovery from Meta just as I was talking shit about it. It heard me. Damn, you are not kidding. That is a very good bounce. Amazon getting a bounce. Apple, what are you doing? Microsoft's doing great too. Okay, there's a lot of pretty big weights doing pretty damn good. I know Nvidia was a little shaky from their pre-market as well, especially after that hit to the kneecap after seeing what AMD just did. Ooh, Tesla's under today's open. Keep that on watch. If that breaks back over, that could follow some of those bigger weights. I gotta watch SPY though. That was honestly impressive. Hold up 1 second. IWM. I was gonna say. Just a slow, continuous pullback on that one. They just rejected previous day high and just pulled back. It feels weird typing thick level. Not gonna lie. And we are continuously pulling back. Like we said, as long as this candle here stays as a seller candle, this should pull back towards this level here. And if this breaks, probably going to see close. It's not until we see the break of this level as well, outside of everything else that's already happened, that we probably see that larger pullback. So keep that in mind. Nice pullback, though, so far. I like how I posted AMD and I typed up this huge-ass explanation last night. I really typed AMD at 164 and I thought I was cooking. That's funny. Alright, I do need to check my SPX level now to go update it. I'm sure they've done some good damage now. Yep. Almost to that previous day close. We're not quite there yet. Same thing here, though. I literally just marked the 2 day ago 50%. And then the previous day 50%. I'm like, oh, we'll probably see some consolidation here. Which makes sense, because if you zoom back out, there's a lot of that like break and retake that literally happens right here. Higher low happened here. When they pulled back and they held before pulling back more, that's where they went. So this whole area is pretty key on both the charts. They're just looking different on SPY and SPX. But I actually like these a lot. Honestly, you probably could have drawn a smaller one if you just drew this 50% here and just did this to this one. And then just kept it as a level. But I wanted to mark the whole area to keep it clear. It's not good to make it all weird. I don't know. I just typed that super weird, but whatever. And then IWM. All right, sorry guys, I was typing. I had to update some stuff. Oh, good job on PayPal so far, Kevo. I just saw your post on Trade Floor. On Oh my god, I gotta fix the time thing again. Did it just mess it up again? No. Oh my god, is that the Ace Ventura? Uber? I'll have to check that out a little. Good shit, Kevo. Sorry, I'm catching up on all the messages now. I really do like this, like super focus at like the open price action because it is crazy how much context it gives you. And when you actually like sit there and kind of witness it, I feel like you have a better understanding of what can come next because you've witnessed. Oh, okay, well this already did that. Now it can do this. So there's always that weird condition. It's a little weird, but like we opened higher. Like we should pull back to the previous day 50%. And if we do just keep pumping up to the previous day high or to the all time high, then whatever. But we opened higher, so it's like we probably need to go back down and test that. And so far, the test around that has not been in a bullish fashion. Yes, we are still holding the whole highlighted area, but the fact that we're under that thick level is a little bit concerning for me for daily trend, for the intraday trend. And you really got to put emphasis in that, guys. I'm serious. If we sit here together, or you come up with your own area, or I post whatever, it doesn't matter. And the key area is for as long as we're above this, higher probability for bulls. As long as we're below this, higher probability for sellers. If you start to add on other confirmations with that, that's what you need to be taking advantage of. Anything else is just noise. Thinking we go lower before we go high to previous day close? Yeah, I think so too. So you're looking for a liquidity grab potential at previous day close. If it ends up breaking that though and continuously breaking, probably will see that lower level tested at 667.30s. We shall see though. I think what is a little concerning too is at that thick level that we are putting so much importance on because it's a mix of two levels. I think it's also important to point out that there were two inside bars in the 5 minute inside that candle, and then it broke down under the level we have a lot of importance on. So there's a lot of selling right under this level, or a lot of pressure for it at least. And I said this earlier, for it to continue down, it definitely has that feel for it. But if we were to retake this level again, there'd be a lot of liquidity stuck here. So keep that in mind. Probably will see the test of this level, but if we see a retake of that thick level, there's a very good chance we're seeing new all-time high today. Full port. Only because you called it out. Full porting into Ace Ventura stock. I don't know about you guys, but when Kevo typed into the levels and swings channel and put "I'm ready," that like double locked me in. I should probably check on how Apple's doing from that post, shouldn't I? I should probably do that. Oh, isn't that nice? Okay, all she has done is just pure chaos this morning. See, this is what we think spies should be doing. The whole break and retake thing. And it's a little funny because a lot of your top weights have done this today. Well, not that one. Amazon did it. Meta did it. Meta did it in a huge way. To be fair, they are still under their current day open and on a gap down, so that one's a little bit different. Google tried to do it. Nvidia did it to the downside. Tesla's just chilling today, huh? Super chilling. What are all these levels? Oh, we were probably doing something with fibs that day. Oh, I do need to look at BAC. I was looking for BAC downside today. Oh, we got it. Holy shit. If you go to the... Actually, I'll just show you all in the scanner thing later, but there's a scanner we've been running, and it was breaking under the next one. So it was basically saying today should be a red day on Bank of America. I'll have to check that later, but that looked like that would have been fine. Apple is on a tear streak. We'll see if that continues or not. Apple's an interesting one to watch because we've been watching to see if that's going to make new all-time highs again. No break of this level so far, guys. We are seeing a short-term hold right now of the gap 50% from October 1st to October 2nd. I made sure to label some of the levels this time. I know I do a horrible job of that. To be honest, it's just a little too tedious, but I took the extra time to do that just so people don't have to ask all the time. This one honestly needs to be relabeled, though. To insane levels. I haven't seen that in a while. There's been a few examples, and some of you even pointed out too, where it's like, yo, Bueller, these two levels line up. But I think it's incredible that it's like two of some of the most important levels we look at every day. If you go back to, and I'll just show it on stream so you guys can take it upon yourself to go look at it yourself. But if you go to the, oh wait, it's a members video. I'll have to make this public. But one of these, I think it's this one or this one. Which one do I type the list up? Oh, okay, wait, that was it. I'm freaking dumb. Most important, important but not as much. Why is this even marked, bro? And it's just showing the most important levels of each day. You can see we got the previous day 50%, and we got the current day open. Now this example doesn't have the gap up or gap down 50%, but we've talked about that so freaking much, so I don't even want to hear that excuse. But I would also put that at 1. So that's like our 3 most important levels. 2 of the 3 levels are the same level today, with the third being way up here. Which, of course, if we see any kind of retake of this, that'll probably be the key area we look for. And we also talked about that earlier. We talked about kind of between here and here, really. You got a little bit of a lower high you kind of cheat and use. So if you do go back up, that should be the first area we touch. I'm just keeping it clean. Just trade BB levels and you will be fine. Just trade Ace and you will be fine. Is that a constant encroachment FVG golden pocket enigma rebalance, a change in state of delivery breaker block into a mitigation block? Honestly, I'm glad you even spotted that. I didn't want to talk about it, but I'm happy you pointed it out. What a freaking sentence, man. I'm glad I read that. Yeah, that is a fat green candle. You are correct, Kevo. My head hurts, lol. He isn't wrong, though, especially about the Enigma rebalance. That's honestly huge. He even pointed that out. Migration block. He probably had spell check on. It's not. It's probably already meant to type. But yeah, good looks, Ace. Good looks. Really appreciate that insight. Liking this bounce so far. We'll see if we get to pop over the insane level, as we're now deeming it. Good shit, Woots and Kevo on PayPal. Both of you are kicking ass on that right now. I can't get over that message. That was pretty good. Ace is the kind of guy that'll like crack a joke and you're like, oh, he took that from Reddit or something. But no, he probably really did type it himself. Yo, what is up, Green Candlestick? What's up, Adam? How you doing, man? Always a good time when Adam is in here. I don't get to see you as much, but that's because you're like on the grind. Doing great, buddy. On the east. On the east? Did you move again? CRWV trying to break out of its little range. Oh, vacation. I was like, damn, let's go. What is truly best, East Coast or West Coast? Like, no bias. You can ask Adam. He's got no bias whatsoever. Totally not, dude. And he's seen both the East and the West Coast. West Coast all day long. West Side. I have heard West Side is best side. West Coast for sports. West Coast to visit. Weather is unbeatable. West best weather. East better people. Oh. Shots fired. Shots fired. Actually, I don't know if I should start saying that as a joke. You can come visit anytime, bro. Beach Boys have a song about that. Ace just straight up said Texas. Based as fuck. Civil War. Yeah, Civil War Part 2, except this time it's literally just to decide which coast is the best. It has no other, like, no other reasoning behind it. East Coast? Okay, I'm just glad we got a little bit of both, that there were answers from both. I think you're both great. Green Candlestick, let me come to San Clemente. East Side Sun. Hell yeah, Gulf Coast. Yeah, Gulf Coast is the best coast. What am I talking about? No, I'm not gonna even lie. It's not. But yeah, where is the argument for that? How come we're not even in the conversation? Gulf of America. Yeah, my bad. Why? It should be called the Gulf of Texas if we're being honest. I don't think any country would have been that mad if it was actually named that. But because we put America in the name, it's like, oh, okay. The Gulf of Texas is what it should have been. Actually, Alaskan coast, the most northern part. I've known people that went to Alaska. I'm sure it's a different experience than anyone on the east, west, or south coast. God, imagine going from like California weather to like Alaska. How quick would you break down? I know I would. Good pushback over the insane level. We'll see if this continues or not. I kind of want to go to the 1 minute and see it for a second. If this holds this level, on the 1 minute, definitely have that mark, definitely have that mark, definitely have your open marked. Just for some upside targets if this holds. If we see a retake of this going to the downside, I don't know if it'll flush, but it'll probably flush if it ends up breaking under. Oh, yep, that's definitely where I meant to draw that. Under all this. Kind of the meat of that red candle there. So not just the break of insane level, but if you see a break and also break of that here, then I would see a flush coming back. A pullback. But as long as we hold this little higher low move here and the retake of this should see that level tested, maybe that level tested, maybe even today's open. I would also like to point out, though, that we did gap up a decent amount and we did almost fill it already. And it's not even been an hour in the market, and now we're already getting another move back up. So I also want to point out that there's already been a decent amount of movement in the first part of the day. There's still another hour before the first phase of the day is truly over, so we should still get more movement, but based on what we've seen. But I did want to point that out. We have moved a decent amount already. Two countries shares its shore. Both are named America, North and South. Yeah, we look out for our South Americans. Not really. I'm in Vermont right now. I'll post some pics and oh yeah, please do, dude. Please. Go to the Alchemist Brewery and get some heady toppers. Already had some hitting up Lawson's Brew soon. Nice, nice. Well, dude, I hope you have a lot of fun on your vacation. Seriously, Adam. That's pretty cool. Oh, you sent the pictures. You're a legend. I swear, every time one of you guys go on vacation, y'all end up taking like some pretty crazy pictures. Like that very, very first one is pretty insane. That second one looks like you're invading an Amish farm. And the third one, you parked vehicles there. This is the successful invasion of the Amish farm. Dude, those trees look wild. They keep trying to tell us it's fall here in the south, but I keep telling them every weather is... all the trees are still green. Our trees do not look like that. Vermont pizza, best pizza ever. Shit, no one says. Oh, that actually got me. I need to screenshot that. Shit, no one says got me. I won't lie to you. I really like those memes, and I even say this sometimes too because I'm just an idiot. But I really love those memes that are like it'll have something that someone says, and it's someone just completely just gaslighting or just making up the most bullshit story, just to have something to talk about, really. And the top comment will always be like, out of all the things that never happened, this never happened the most. Fucking that shit gets me every time I read it. That reminded me about that shit no one says. uh, I love those memes so much. Good retake so far, guys. Honestly, that was looking a little grim for a second. It flipped back up. I liked what you said on the trade floor too, Kevo. I had the same concern, but I am liking this retake so far. It was looking a little bit grim there with that hammer for a quick moment. Alexis is in Vermont. No, you're not. Where are you at? Gonna hang out in Burlington today? Dummerston? Wait, you're telling me there's two cities in Vermont named Burlington and Dummerston? You're fucking with me, right? What is a Zumo? Zumo. Am I missing out? Professional juicers. Damn, that'd be crazy. Adam and Alexis meeting up. That would be crazy. That would be a combo of people I didn't think were ever that would have met up. Like that's not what I would have thought about. That's actually pretty cool if y'all do. Yo, but don't mess with Alexis, man. You're on vacation. He's working. Remember that shit. Meta rejecting current day open. Oh, good looks, because that was kind of insane how that went back up. Good updates, D-touch. Oh, nice rejection and a potential lower high going here. Good looks on a gap down. Honestly, props. That's probably one of the best looking charts I've seen today. Some of them are like this, just like spike, spike. AMD spike. Tesla's like, don't move me. I don't want to get off the couch. It's kind of fucking with the overall markets movement too, because some of these are kind of like putting it in a way where it's like, oh, this should go back up. Like this makes sense, but let's be honest, we're not all watching IWM. This kind of makes sense too, to be honest. I think it's crazy too, because if you were looking at just your XLs today, it probably made a lot more sense than anything we said in here. Because you got this, it's up like, you know, just a pretty good amount, I'd say. It's the largest sector in the entire market, so we should have a higher open. What did we get on SPY? A higher open. But what did this do from the open? Can anybody explain that to me? Basically jack shit. What has SPY done since the open? It had a little bit of a pullback. But I think that's because literally every other sector pulled back except tech. The ones that mattered, at least. This is energy. This does not weigh anything. This is flat. And it also pulled back. So, I don't know. This was a pretty big key indicator, too. Just quickly looking through your sectors. I know we only looked at XLK today, but it was still just like, wow. That's why we got the higher open. And you could almost blame it on, you know, small things like AMD. You could blame it on some other stocks too, like Apple. We saw Meta bounce back up. Oh, wait, they're not in Meta's not an XLK, they're an XLC. But still, though, just seeing tech stocks go back up and the spike moves that we saw in a lot of them. So us getting the higher open makes sense. Us getting a pullback makes sense. Now from here, Definitely going to be a little bit more difficult as we start to see a lot of our sectors settle a little bit. Some of them are still pulling back up. Some of the ones that were up are pulling back down. So you're going to have a lot more of your consolidation candles here, I believe, just because of the sector analysis. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, guys. Definitely helps out a bunch. The goal every day is 20. Oh, it's sausage. God, thank God. I thought you were going to say it was the juicing thing. I was like, no, bro. I don't juice. Why am I typing there? Got your like Zemo Meat Company. I'll be honest with you, man. It's Texas, man. There's a lot of freaking places like this. So, no, I've not had this, but I've had so many other places. But I won't lie, this website is freaking sexy, man. Oh my God. Bro, I just can't. When I see websites like this, I just can't understand how people don't eat meat. I'm sorry. I don't mean to attack anybody's personal beliefs, but I can't see a website like that and be like, yeah, I'd totally not eat that stuff for the rest of my life. Fuck no. I have a few stops here. How long you staying, fam? Yeah, how long you staying, Adam? IWM is going up. Triple Q is going down. SPY is sideways. Ooh. Kind of adds to the whole thing I just covered, too. Probably going to see some consolidation. But I do like how we're holding over this thick level. If we're being honest, we should go up direction-wise. But the pacing, I really couldn't tell you that it's going to be quick or not. Trend-wise, though, it should start going back up as long as you're over that thick level. I think a big conversation we had earlier, too, that is pretty key if we do continue to go back up to any extent, is to see if we even get to this. Do we even get to this area, or do we reject before that? Because I think if we reject before that, that shows that we're definitely a lot more bearish than we think. If buyers are somewhat present, they should be able to get to this area. So if they can't, then I have to assume their bears are definitely a lot more present than the buyers. I really like this area, too. I'm not going to lie. I like this distancing between this lower high at the end of the day from Friday and then today's open, which we find this to be one of the most important levels of any intraday chart. So it's kind of cool we could combine that kind of like we did down here with these levels. And I guess I'll leave it marked now that there is that chance we can go hit them. I was trying to keep as many short-term levels off my chart because I'm so bad about deleting them. And then when we move on like 6-7 days later, I have like a billion levels on my screen. It's just because I didn't do any good maintenance on them. But that's my own fault. I'll be back later. See you, Kevo. Be safe, man. Thank you for being here. And thank you for all the call-outs and updates, dude. He did a really good job of calling out shorts on SPX if anybody was paying attention, both in the Discord and on YouTube stream. Very cool of him. And then also Woots in the trade floor. He's been doing a really good job. He called out PayPal as well as updating PayPal. Oh, and then Devontae, too. Devontae shorted the shit out of Triple Q. Good shit on that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That pizza looks fire as fuck. I'm talking about trade floor. That is so sexy. I'm honestly a little freaking hungry now. Bro, why am I so freaking hungry now? I hate you, Kevo. Not actually. We still an IB on the daily and weekly good dollar scalp on that bounce. Not gonna lie. Wow, thanks for that call out, Ace. I can totally translate that. MNQ 25 101 income. Bro, how do y'all even look at that shit? Watch out, bro. It's about to beat the 25.1K mark. I'm just making fun of you. Trying to find something to listen to. Buyers still holding on to the insane level. Should see some upside as long as we hold that thick level. $671s are at 68. That already went up a pretty good amount. Definitely go check the levels and swings channels. Just posting 2 little quick brief updates. Oh, that's how you do it. Beer for breakfast, taking notes. That's actually funny. Yeah, for real, there was a beer in that other picture, wasn't that? Looked like a pretty good one, too. Look crisp. Ooh, I didn't even see we hit 20 likes on the stream, guys. Thank you again. Big W. Shout out each and every one of you. They are rejecting this little spot we talked about right here. Would have loved to have seen a... I mean, this did close over, but would have loved to have seen some follow-through with that. Another breakdown of this level. Can't really be surprised we talked about the consolidation, considering we already did some pretty good single directional moves twice this morning. Once towards the previous day close almost, just about pretty much the 50% gap of that October 1st to 2nd level. And then a pretty good bounce back into this area. So I don't think I'm shocked that we're getting all this consolidation here. We literally broke this down earlier. Not trying to toot my own horn. Sup, Bueller? What's up, Fipo? I was laughing at some of the messages in the chat. What's up, dude? How is the goat Fipo doing? Have you seen Atos? Should I have? What is that? ATOS. Oh, this is one of the ones that I can't see because it's on your market, I think. Oh, wait, this might be the wrong stock I'm looking at. No, I haven't. I think I've seen them from you mentioning them to me. But that was like a while ago. Holy shit. I just saw their 6-month chart. Their 1-month chart, they're up 41%. 6 months, 52%. Year to date, 122%. What the fuck is this chart? In the last 5 days, 15%. Yeah, this is on your mark. That's fucking crazy. Okay, so the only reason I definitely know that you sent me that before is because it had a purple link, meaning I clicked on it before, but I would never search up, like, European stocks. So that is 100% from you. Dude, that one's freaking killing it. Did you go heavy on that, I'm assuming? Or are you in that? I say heavy because it's FIPO. Bro could have 1 billion shares and we would never know it. Oh, thank you, Ace, for putting that in English to me. Previous day close. Oh, big balls Devontae. Averaging down. I like it, actually. You have 5 stocks? That's actually kind of awesome. I honestly... It's kind of good to start small and just focus on less. And I don't mean small, like, in terms of, like, equity. I mean, like, not having 1,000 things in front of you, you know? I respect that. I mean, it doesn't really seem like you need to be in more than 5 stocks when you got a stock like that. 122% on the year is pretty insane. Let's see, Devontae, how that works out. I like it, though. I like it. I'm not going to lie. I can't wait to look at my scanners end of day today. Last 2 hours of the day. Hour and a half. Can we get some more movement before the end of the first sesh? The end of the first session of the day is in about 45 minutes. It's pretty much the first 2 hours of the day. My portfolio went up 10% on the last 7 days. Jesus. I know you're feeling good, man. Yo, when does Polo come back? The Fool, I return. What's up, dude? I do remember you. He should be back by today. W. Fine. What's up, Fool? How you doing, man? I only know a different Fool. We all know a Fool or two. But this is the Fool. Capitalized it, too. Not much, switched jobs and got more responsibilities. Hopefully a good thing. Hopefully a good thing, right? Hopefully not less pay and more responsibilities. I'm very happy to hear that, though, Fool. I hope that's all good. Doubled. Oh, okay, yeah. We're definitely happy about that, then. Kind of scary picking up more responsibilities, but hey, man, you're getting paid for it. Good shit. And honestly, good for you, man. I don't know what you did or what you do or whatever, but big W, honestly. Round of applause for Fool. It's not just about stock gains in here. We got Fool with the double. We got Adam on vacation. FIFO's up fucking 10% the last 7 days on a portfolio that probably has a B in it. I was just about to ask you, Devontae, how that's doing because I know you're up. But I didn't want to pressure you. Now remember, Devontae, we've already done this once where we slowed down out of this. So technically this should break that and keep going because of us already doing this once. But I don't blame you if you trim one. Just because you did it, do this kind of a scary average down, I'll be honest, but I respect it. I honestly would have gotten onto you if we didn't do any of this first. But we already went down, we did our thing, we kind of came up, we talked about the possibility of consolidation. So us doing this like volatile break and retake crap, and it's funny because it didn't even actually break it. It just scared us. So good shit so far. What's the ticker for Gemini? Don't tell me it's just GEM. That'd be tough. I think I looked at this last week with you, Elias. I think I looked at this last week with you. It is Gemmy? Okay. I'll look at that in a second. Taking 31 here. Good shit, Devontae. With a B in my portfolio, I wouldn't do so much shit. You wouldn't even be looking at a stream, probably. Honestly, if you had a B in your portfolio, I would be asking you why the hell your team isn't on HLTV yet. The next Falcons. I would play and stream more. Yeah, that would be tough. That would be so freaking cool. Jimmy. All right, let's look at Jimmy real quick. Good shit on the spy bounce so far, Devontae. All right, what'd you say about this? Looking good. Took some calls in it on Friday. Ooh, hold up. What time frame were you looking at before you swung this? Be honest. You're all out? Good shit, Devontae. Round of applause, dude. Honestly, I don't even want to say good recovery in your trade. Good maintenance in your trade. Not letting yourself be shaken out. On the daily? Okay, Elias. What were you looking at when you saw this? And be honest, man. I really hope you say it. I really hope you say what I see here. I really hope you say it. Because I'll be honest with you, this does look really good. In terms of candlestick patterns, but I didn't want to like give it to you. I wanted you to guess, or tell me why you liked it at least. It did look good though. I won't lie. Was there anything else beyond that though? 3 green candles. Great call out, Ace. Yep, got it. This guy, man. If I could grab any one of you through the screen, it would be Ace, and it wouldn't be for positive or anything like that. It'd be to choke him out across the other side of the screen. End game, of course. Just kidding, YouTube. Totally satire. That daily close look good to me? All right, bet. You are correct. But I wanted you to know that what you were looking at is actually really special. So what we like to look at a lot in here are just like good positioning stocks. So before I get into that, if you're looking at like a downtrend or an uptrend or even a sideways trend, there's almost always going to be better positioning for a certain side. So if we're in a downtrend, and please forgive me on my amazing drawings. I know I'm a freaking artist. These all have price action within them. A lot of the time, holy shit, I'm all over the place in that one. A lot of the time, towards the top here, you're going to have like good bearish signals. Towards the top of that trend, towards the bottom, you're going to have good bullish trend. But you should be looking at more bearish setups in this scenario because we're in a downtrend. Same thing for this. You should be looking for more upside scenarios, even though you will probably see those good bearish setups pop up at the top and bottom. And then same thing here. And this third one is kind of what this reminds me of. You kind of have this like, I'll remove this. You kind of have this like low here, and they hold that low. And then what's kind of cool about this though is like the meat of this is like an inside bar, not an actual inside bar, but it's kind of cool. You have that little look there with that small-legged, small-body candle, or long-legged, small-body candle. Sorry. And then it kind of looks like a morning star. I don't know if you know what a morning star is or not. We have the free PDF in the trade floor, so you can download that and look through it all you want. But this is actually a really good candlestick pattern. That's why I say it's special. So you saying it looks good, like it does look good. A little sketchy because it's like not a crazy amount of price action. But I do like that look. Plus, you were talking about this last week, I think. Why is that drawing going backwards at time? I did draw it backwards. I'm sorry. I don't just suck at drawing. I'm horrible at drawing on this shit. But yeah, so very, very cool candlestick pattern that you ended up spotting out, actually. Maybe I can find it for you. You just go to the trade floor, and then you click this pinned thing here, and you gotta scroll. It's right here. We got our FOMC trading guide and the candlestick handbook guide right next to each other, but this one's really big because it actually does cover exactly that. Wait, did that actually pop up how I needed it to? Oh my god, it did. W. So like right here. This one's cool too because I like that you can just like scroll down if you're on your computer and you can just click, oh, I want to go to Morningstar on page 13. Click it and you're there. Pretty cool. But look, exact example almost. But it doesn't always have to have the gaps, but it definitely helps having the gap down to the gap up. Positioning matters too. In this case, he's looking at a higher low. Higher low. You can also see it on the smaller time frame itself and learn how to day trade it as well. And then the opposite of that pattern, the evening star. But that's free to download. But that is pretty much what that pattern is. Good looks, though. Don't make us look dumb. Now, honestly, a lot of my guys know that stuff now. Alias isn't, I don't think, normally in my group, though. So I at least wanted to go over that with him. Elias, Alias. I'm probably saying that wrong both ways. Dude, my drawings do suck though. I say it every time. I kind of like preemptively give that warning sign. Take some Quaaludes, conversate with Jesus. Maybe aliens. I got it right? Oh, okay, cool. I'll be honest with you, I used to have a best friend growing up. His name was Elias, so and he was Venezuelan. Honestly, Devontae, good looks on getting out. Because it looks like a big time waster here for anybody who is in this like area here positioning. Even right now. It still looks good for a bounce though, I'm gonna be honest. It still looks really, really good for continuation into this area here. If it breaks this level here though, cancel that out. Cancel that out big time. That's what I see though. Yo, I gotta check HLTV now. How are these games going? Get down. My dog's literally scratching the shit out of my chair. Relax, dude. We'll go out in a second. Oh, almost dropped my phone. Yo, what's up, React? Sorry, I was reading something. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that said Usopp at first, and then I was getting a little bit like of One Piece nostalgia. What the fuck is up, up? Wubba lubba dub dub. Rain is carrying. That's great. My parlay is fucked. My one yesterday hit though. Inside bar, 10-minute spy. Is that true? It is true. We do have an inside bar. Oh, actually, if you actually look, we have an outside bar to an inside bar. That candle's high is a little bit above that one. Outside bar to an inside bar. This literally lines up with exactly what I covered, too. I literally said there's going to be some sort of just consolidation here. What do we get? An outside bar and an inside bar. What other fucking consolidation could you get here? That is crazy how that looks on the 10-minute. Good looks. I'm glad you said that. Cut shorts and went long, held PDCP. Good looks, React. And good job, too. I really am serious about that because I know some of us have like this ego to us sometimes when we're in our trades because we know that we know what we're doing. Some of us are like capable, so we know, okay, I should do this. You know I can do this. So I don't mean ego like in a bad way. I mean like ego in terms of like you're capable. And I think it's very cool that you were able to switch from shorts to longs, even if it's not like the craziest of moves yet, just because you understand like, okay, this is a pretty big directional level, you know, and not letting your like bias or ego or anything like kind of get in your way. And again, like I said, not like a bad way. Just again, because you know you're capable of doing damage to the chart. So I know that it can be one of those things where it's like, fuck, do I really want to do this? And then it feels even worse too when it does dump after. But it's like, dude, you just got to keep that in your head that like you got to focus on just the right levels, you know? So I am happy to see you do that and not even be sweating it. Seriously, good job. I like the mental wins in here too. Because mentality is huge. I think it's so easy to sit here and be like, all right, guys, if it's above this, be bullish. If it's below this, be bearish. Like, yeah, no shit. But to actually sit there and be like, all right, I'm getting into this position at this time and I'm doing this right here. If it breaks this, I'm going to get out. Sometimes when you enter that trade, all thinking beforehand just goes out the window. And it's honestly up to you to kind of grow from that. You're trying to build on being able to like think under the pressure. To stick to what you planned beforehand, even though you're under pressure of possibly being wrong. You know, dear God, if we're wrong. You're human. You're going to be wrong. And being wrong is the only way to learn how to be correct over time. You're not going to just 100% win rate every trade. That's just not feasible. It's not possible. So don't set those insane expectations or limitations on yourself where you are going to have so much more pressure than the rest of us. When there is no need for that. You don't need all that extra stress and pressure. Life's already a bitch as it is. Don't need to be sitting there and applying all that to yourself and making it harder. Have some things planned out. Go over it. Stick to it as best as you can. I know it's so easy to say that and so much harder to actually do, but think it through first. If this or that, use the levels and the context. Can't be mad when it doesn't work out. Just got to follow our rules. Exactly. There is no like bias or ego to it. It's just following whatever our system usually tells us. And reading your context. I'm glad you said that too. Context is so freaking... I'm telling you, man, that has to be like the most powerful word in trading that I wish I would have said years ago. Because I don't think I started saying it until like last year. I would have loved to have thought about trading in that way from the get-go. I think I would have had no rough time in the beginning. Which is probably a bad thing, because then you don't understand how to like get around the rough days. New high from these lows. We don't have a new high of day yet. We'll see if we get up to that point, though. So far, looking really good from the... I'm not even going to say call out. I don't really know what to call it, so I'll just say update. Good update. See if we get the continuation into those highs up there. There is another level in between all this, but I honestly just wasn't stressing. But it's about right here, and we're about at it right now. And it's just from those 1 minute lower highs we talked about from the previous day. I've kind of been switching time frames, going over multiple things. Good call out too by my good friend Ace Ventura. He actually did come in here and say we were going to hold and go back up from the low. You know, I was getting a little worried about you, Ace, but that call out gave me a little bit more confidence again. I didn't know if I needed to be calling the psych ward, getting a straitjacket thrown on you, or what. But great update. That 10-minute candle, Devontae. Oh, from his inside bar call out. I guess I could leave it on the 10-minute for a little bit more. I've never hated the 10-minute. By the way, guys, I disciplined my dog so well through positive reinforcement that she didn't have to wear that stupid freaking donut over her freaking head because of the surgery. I'm genuinely so freaking proud of her. That dog is the best. I had to tell her, I was like, don't lick yourself here, don't bite it, don't bite at it or nothing. I had to tell her like 3 times, like, I do like that noise. And then, and she hasn't done it, so we haven't had to put that stupid thing around her head. And I honestly am so happy about that because I thought that was going to freaking drive her up a wall. So I'm very happy my dog's smart as fuck. I thought about it the other day too. I was like, I literally have not gotten onto this dog, not even once. Like, this dog has yet to like do something where you're like, what are you doing? Or like, hey, stop that. Like, it'll probably play with you a little bit too rough sometimes, but that's just because of its nature. This dog is genuinely so fucking smart though. Not trained or anything. It's all like, I mean, I trained it a little bit, but not like that. Not professionally. That dog is genuinely like smart. How's everybody in the stream doing so far, by the way? Vibe check. We are hitting past that 10 o'clock mark. I like to do a vibe check at 10. What is everyone doing? How's everyone doing? You took about a little bit, about 20% on SPX calls a little bit ago. Ooh, nice. We did get a couple updates from Kevo and myself in the Discord and YouTube on SPX. Good job, though, getting that on your own. And nice job not being greedy, just getting yours. Watching this 15-minute IV play out on Tesla. Ooh, that's enticing. Oh, good looks. You do have that there. I think I kind of like the positioning of it, too. I know I have all these fucking levels on my screen. They're all mainly emerging candles, but there's a lot of mixed levels because I didn't clean my chart. Let me just quickly add some. Just adding emerging candles. Just the green closes of your far left chart of the side of the chart. I can't speak English. I think I got them all. It's probably a halfway point we need to add in there, right there. To be honest with you, let me just do that right now. Because there's going to be so much space on that smaller time frame. About right there. It's like awkward. There's like new levels here. I mean, there's like a 50% of that gap right here somewhere. But we don't need to have so many extra levels there. That's actually super awkward how that's stuck between everything. I wouldn't be surprised if this stuck between here for a couple days. 436 to 450. That kind of sucks. It's like that. I guess you could cheat and be like, well, there's another level here and here, then, right? Like, but I don't know. That's kind of cheating. Like that is almost like adding just too many 50%. That wouldn't even make sense anymore. So based on key levels, that's what you got. I mean, I guess you got your today's open right here. Good looks though on the inside bar recognition. I like when people find that correctly. You'd be surprised, man. When I go over deeper candlestick pattern recognition with people, it like throws them through a loop, and it's not really their fault. But I can see exactly where it like messes up. Like sometimes, like an inside bar, okay, fair, that's pretty easy to spot. Let's be honest. But like a bullish kicker, or sometimes seeing a bearish kicker, or just a normal gap up, that'll throw some people off, and they'll think it's something different. It's like whoa. So actually having good understanding of patterns and just and not even all of them. I showed you all the PDF. Like it's not like we have. I'll show it again. It's not like there's 100 patterns. You know, we just posted the main ones that we like, and how to you could trade them on smaller and bigger time frames. So make sure you guys go through this. But that's why I like that, because there is a little bit of difficulty in it when it doesn't seem like there is. So trust me, when you go through it, you'll be like, oh, okay, this is all really simple. I already know most of these. Yeah, but actually actively identifying them and getting it correct is a little bit difficult sometimes when you're a little bit newer to it, because some of the different rules behind different patterns might throw you off. You'll be like, oh, what the fuck? I got that wrong. So just make sure you take your time if you do go through that stuff. And ask questions. There are a lot of people in chat know the patterns, all that good stuff. Patiently waiting for new high of day. I love to hear it. Yeah, I should be seeing that here soon on SPY. As long as we hold that level, which we have, I don't see why we wouldn't go up to this at this point. We talked about this already a couple times. Also, we talked about the pacing might not being there, though. We did talk about that. That was the one bad thing I said when I said we should go up from here. I did say the pacing could be a little bit slow just because we have seen a pretty good amount of movement already in the first part of the day. And there's only about 16 minutes left in the first phase of the day. So it might be slow to go up and make that new high of day, but like you said, patiently waiting. Good looks, though. You have a TD script for ins. Oh, nice. I do, too. Good shit, then. I don't ever turn mine on anymore, but I'm happy to hear that, though. I know there's a lot of popular price action strategies that include the inside bar. We definitely have it as like a very important candlestick, and it's definitely something you can take advantage of. Outside bars as well. That last outside bar, actually, Letter Buck, man, you did such a great job on that. That's like a pretty historical moment, in my opinion. I think you breaking down that whole chart like you did that last week or so, I think that was pretty insane. Next level. I guess I could remove all these annoying ass lines on the screen, huh? I think we got the point. I only said it 600 times. Love the OB shot. Yeah, dude. I'm really proud of you, man. That's like some Leland level shit you did. Oh, I got a ping in chat. Didn't even notice. My bad, Kevo. TRGP. Oh, this is from the watch list. You're the one who fucking told me to look at this. Bro, I've been waiting for weeks for someone to speak up about that one because I couldn't remember who the hell told me to look at it. It was him that told me to look at it. Alright, bigger time frame watch for sure. Ooh. This could get some higher low buys soon. The Bunty looks like shit, so let's get off that. Holy, there is so much consolidation here. Oxygen. Breathe it. Holy consolidation. Okay, well, based off everything here, this should bounce, but that is insane. Dude, that's all the way from the beginning of April all the way to now. Having trouble thinking about when to cut. Oh, I gotta look now. Don't want to be too greedy, but I have till 11.7 right over 106%. That's a good fucking question, honestly. That is a very good question. Okay, first off, I guess I will go back to the monthly. Dude, holy shit, this chart is so god-awful to look at. How did he chart this? I mean, you can't ignore like these random little highs that get made. Now I'm in the current price action. Holy. There's something to look at. Let's go to the weekly. Is there a backwards fib I can draw here? Anywhere? Not really. There was one here. That's the only thing I can go off of. Hold up. If that's what that looks like, what does this look like then? Okay, pretty similar. I guess you have to do it like that. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Alright, so go to the weekly again. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just going from the last pullback it had. I'm going from the low to the high. And this one confirms, did it use any of the 50% to help with short-term trend? It did, so kind of confirms this fib's okay. That is a fucking insane rally, though. It's kind of funny, though, because we were watching Coin and MSTR, and, like, it's not really surprising to see these up. I just don't watch Riot. But when I say insane, I mean, like, money-wise, that's insane. This went from 10 to 22. I don't think people realize how insane that is. That is more insane than Coin going from 300 to 389. Pretty wild. If I'm being honest with him, though, I would probably just rely on this chart. I don't know if I'd be watching the Riot chart. I should probably show the weekly so he knows what the hell I drew. Dude, what is up with that? What the fuck did I just read? Howdy, what's up, Batty Ice? I actually meant to message you. I keep forgetting to because I keep fucking doing different things. Good to see you, Matty Ice. Good to see you. Always a pleasure doing business with you, good sir. How is it over there in Michigan, bro? How is the North? Oh, how did BAC do today? Oh, that's right. There, we already went over that. They already fell a little bit, then pulled back up. The short would have worked. It would have a little bit. It would have been scary in the first 5 minutes though if we did actually swing that from Friday. RF would have worked. CMG would have worked. TTD would have worked. Holy Citigroup. USB, man. I can't believe we shorted this so early on. I mean, we were shorting this from like this candle. Cost being down the most on my watch list is a crime. Yo, I'm sorry, but we have to keep Meta on watch. They're about to have earnings at the end of this month, and they're at a part of their chart where they should get brought back up. So we should see some pricing in for this towards the 730s. That needs to be a top watch. Let me put that on the scratch pad. I need to do new again. Why did I type up like that? I do not want to forget that. Double inside bar breakdown on AbbVie. Double inside bar breakdown on Amgen. Outside bar on John Deere. A single black crow on Constellation Brands. Starbucks with the crazy ass pullback. By the way, we were looking at this last week for bounces. We got one bounce, and then I couldn't stream this day. Inside bar Friday, and now it's doing this. I think I'm glad I didn't actually get on that. That's a crazy amount of movement over just 3 sessions. These two specifically, but that's nuts. I guess that shows you the power of what an inside bar could do. That's disgusting. I'll be looking at plenty of bigger time frames later. I'll save my breath on that. Well, good job, anybody who is paying attention from this. We did talk about this being a little slow, but we did talk about this getting up to at least this point if we got back over this thick level. And like I said, it did take probably a lot longer than probably some of us expected, just because, of course, us already getting enough movement for the first part of the day. It's not like they have just unlimited fuel in the tank, as much as we would all love to enjoy that. I think I'm going to end the stream here soon, though. I have to go. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, enjoyed the breakdowns. If you guys have any questions, I'll leave the stream open for a couple more minutes. Any questions or remarks or anything you just want to add on top of anything. Honestly, very, very talkative in the first part of the stream with all the updates this morning. I love the amount of movement we had. And then we slowed down, of course, just because, again, we kind of expected some consolidation to occur. But really good job if anybody has been paying attention to any of the... I don't even want to call them call-outs because I don't like to be like that. It's a little cringe to me. But I do appreciate anybody paying attention to my updates that I am providing. Again, just kind of going over conditional updates, going, if this covers this or this goes over this, expect that. Kind of going over forward-thinking stuff so you can actually take advantage of that information. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the updates. Pretty decent job of calling out the pullback towards the thick level. A little bit hairy between the thick level down to that 669.50 level. And pretty much ever since then, it's kind of felt like we were just destined to go back up, but not at like any quick pace or anything. Makes sense too. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream so far. Definitely leave a like, all that stuff. I am going to end it here soon, so if you guys have any questions or anything, please feel free to share. And I do appreciate you guys all being here. I love all the different comments and DMs I get and the different things that get said or asked in the streams. It's definitely very cool. And also, it's just kind of cool seeing so many different people succeed. It's not like we're just rooting for like two people anymore, in the chat. It really feels like you're almost rooting for just about anybody who's posting because everyone's doing so well. And I don't mean to like brag or anything, but you guys are genuinely fucking kicking everybody's ass, and I love it. And it's funny too because a lot of the time I sit here, I think it's so easy to speak from a point of view where you're like, who caught my call out, or let me boost my ego. But I really love in here that we kind of just go over everything, and we share the credit. I love giving the credit out to everybody who even mentions it, even if you weren't sitting there and you're like, yo, you need to buy this or do this at this time, even if you were just part of the conversation. Thank you. All credit goes to everybody. And again, guys, don't be egotistical. Don't be overbiased. None of that weird, nasty, cringe stuff. We're not like that. Focus on just what's in front of you. Focus on conditional updates. Focus on conditional call-outs for yourself. If this happens, I'm going to do that. If this happens, I'm going to do that. If that happens, I do this to my position. Always setting a forward-thinking condition for yourself. Thanks. Love having your charts up. Thank you, Jennifer. But thank you guys again. I think I will end the stream there. I don't see anybody asking any questions, so I think that's my cue. If you guys have anything else, please feel free to share in the Discord. There's plenty of people just sharing and dropping all their different ideas and things they're looking at, things that interest them in the market, different random news and stuff. There's a free news channel, Trade Floors. Come join in, conversate. And I'll see you guys later on. Have a great rest of your day.